I just want to share a little bit what I've learned week 6 in the LTS, August 2025, with Michael Hendricks, with both the Hendrickses in our brain science week. So I think this week was really key for me because it taught me a lot about how our brains actually work. I've known in the past that like there's a difference between left brain and right brain, but I kind of understood that as like these are different personalities. So left brain is like very logistic and administrative, and right brain is like, oh, you're creative, you're a videographer, like you like to paint. But I didn't realize that we're actually processing information in both brains, and the type of information though that we process through our different brains is very different. And so right brain is very much attachment, assessment of things that are good or bad or scary, mutual mind, so attunement, figuring out how to relate to people, and then identity and figuring out how to return to joy in that identity. And so I think as leaders, this is such important information, because if we want to be able to lead well, to take care of people well, to love people ultimately well, we need to know how to communicate in a way that makes sense, that reaches their hearts, that communicates to them, you are important, you are valued, we need you, beyond just like flippant words, but figuring out how to really show people with our words and with our actions that we need them and that we love them and that they are important and have value. I love what Michael said on the 25th when he's talking about how right brain is actually the more powerful influence. So I think it's really important as leaders that we get this, that we get how to communicate with people, because this is even more powerful than facts and science, well, not science, but like than facts and spouting off reasons of why people should be the way that they are. We need to speak truth into the core of who they are. And I think a really powerful way and tool that they gave us to do that is the VCR, validate, comfort, and repattern for resilience. I think, yeah, even in the past couple days, I've been so aware in myself and in other people when someone shares something vulnerable, like, how am I responding? Am I going to validate them and comfort them and respond in an appropriate manner, of whether that's like, you know, challenging a little bit of like, hey, but like that, you know, if, for example, if someone, this is a hypothetical, but if someone was like, oh, I feel like I'm just like a turd, and like being like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, like genuinely, like that is so hard, and I can imagine that being really hard for you. You know, I felt like a turd before too, but just so you know, like, you're not a turd and God loves you. That's such a crazy example, but I think it's been so good for me to like watch and be thinking about how I can really apply this, and it's so important for the people that we lead to make sure that they're covered well, they're seen well. So I want to really be implementing this in my leadership in every area, because I think we talk so much about leadership being influence, and like we have this influence and this trust, and I don't think that that's personal to just YWAM. And so I feel like this week specifically, I'm like, man, I want to be able to like have like influence in my mom's life, to speak truth into her, and so I have to do the groundwork before to have the positive relationship and trust already built, to be able to, when she's going through like a hard time, to be able to speak into her life. Same with the people I lead, same with John, same with just everyone I want to love well and use this tool. 3 questions I have is it easy to fall into manipulation with all this brain science, so kind of using it to hurt people? Is there a level of this that gets people, that people who get people skills will be better? So if they're naturally better at people skills, people so much. And then last question, how can I trust this brain science is accurate? Trial and error. Why isn't this talked about more?